Bhairava Kalike Namostute. Jai Shri Bama Khepa, Jai Shri Shama Khepa, Jai Khepa Parampara, Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Ma. Jai Madhya. So good morning, and we're back on yet another video. So as you are aware, we have been announcing satsangs, and just wanted to give a little bit of logic on why it is that we are having these satsangs. What is the adesh we have from Devi? Why is it that we are going all around the country speaking about Devi and the path to Devi? So there was this comment which was very sad and shows the state of our country today and how far off we have come in the delusion that we are from a different land altogether, and we forget that this is the karma bhumi. This is where all the saints, all the vidya, all the jnana began to flow out from. This is the land of Devi, right? So the comment was something about what will be covered in the satsang. There is nothing more foolish than that. To ask what will be covered in satsang. Satsang is like plugging onto the cosmic being and just letting it flow. Satsang is not about a content. Satsang is not that today we speak about this only. No, we start on Bhairava and we'll go all over. We do not know what Devi has intended to take us on, and hence there is no portions. So Macaulay's law of education has put us into such a state that we only look at even the satsang from the ideology of a classroom. It is not a workshop, it is not a classroom. And in the stages of building bhava, Sri Krishna has very beautifully explained how do you begin from, with the idea being to build bhava or prema towards the deity, how it begins from shraddha and ends up all the way till prema. Prema is when you and the deity are in deepest states of embrace. So in that, shraddha being the first and foremost state in building bhava. What does shraddha mean? Shraddha simply means faith. Faith to such an extent that like a coconut tree that is being bashed by cyclonic storms, you remain unmoving. No matter what happens, you will sway, but you will not break. You are rooted deeply in faith. And what is that soil? What is that sand? What are your roots? That is you and the deity. So when you build faith, you are unmoving no matter what life throws at you. You do not let go of your sadhana, right? Do not let go of your faith, no matter what happens. Then the deity throws you into something called the second stage, which is sadhu sanga. You find yourself moving in the crowds of the sadhus. Does that mean they'll all be wearing ochre robes, or they'll be full of smeared with ashes? They will be full-time ritualistically sitting in places of worship? Not that. It is the company of the seekers. You will be thrown into the company of seekers where the deity unplugs you from the abhas or the maya of what you are. I the banker, I the IT professional, I the businessman, I the dancer, I the performing artist, I the actor. Unplug. I the politician nahi chalega. You unplug, and at this moment I place you among the sadhus, the seekers. I place you in the company of the sadhus so that you realize what you are. This is where the satsangs come in. It is not a portion. It is not for you to tick mark and say that okay, I took 2 mantras from this, I'm going to do this for 10 days, okay, 15 days ka karne ka homework diya. It is not Macaulay's law of education. It is purely about the Atma within. Everybody will get a few answers as you sit in the sadhu sangha because the deity is throwing you there. It is the highest sign of progress. Of course, on YouTube you will find it, but there is a difference between the physical presence in the sadhu sangha and the purely sensory part of it, where you merely look at a video or look at the audio. To be around in an asana that is created by the deity with the company of those who are fellow seekers, that's a completely different atmosphere altogether. It has its benefits. What are the benefits as Sri Krishna has described it? First and foremost benefit of the sadhu sangha is shiksha. You get jnana, you get direction, you are given a stability, you get an anchor to hold on to. As that in the shraddha state, like the coconut tree, you're swaying all over, sadhu sangha gives you shiksha, an anchor to hold on, even if the storms, and you're thrown into the sea itself. As the tree are unplucked and thrown into the sea itself, there is an anchor that roots you. Your roots are no longer even attached to the soil, but you're still not swaying away, even if you're thrown into the ocean in the worst cyclonic storms. Shiksha holds you. You do not move. You are deeply rooted. No matter how deep the ocean, the anchor holds the tree that is thrown into the ocean. This is Shiksha. Sadhu Sang gives you Shiksha. Everybody will not be able to attend Satsang. Satsangs are probably one of the eligibilities of the deities throwing you into a certain group. Saying, Acha, you are all seekers. Unplug from the Maya that the Chitta believes that it is a banker and identity, and switch off and sit here as Atmas. That is called Satsang, and that is why it is very important, and the whole purpose of today's video is to speak about that. Why should you attend these Satsangs? The Shiksha that you attain from the Sadhu Sangs give you Bhajana Kriya, Upasana Vidhi, the urge to sit down in your house and just call out to that deity. It could be through a mantra, through a stuti, through merely recitation of the Nama. That urge, that renewed sense of vigor, it is all the progress that is opened and thrown onto you by the deity. So Sadhu Sang is the most important step in attaining higher states of prema or bhava with the deity, and it is not given to everybody. Most of us will simply look at it, okay, what is the subject? Oh, it is introduction to Bhairava. I am introduced, and they'll walk. And they'll think, okay, you have some introduction, and we are going to give you the most powerful bija mantra. Or they'll be, oh, acha, powerful bija mantra. Then they'll come. There is no hope for that. It is not about the most powerful bija mantra. The moment you are born as a human being or as any Atma, but you have attained the state of the human being, please understand you have attained a specific state in the Atma's journey. You are already initiated. Shiva is within. It is for you to recognize it. The Satsang merely gives you Shiksha and the Bhajana Kriya, which is the path towards Upasana. Ananta Nivritti, it cleans and purifies the heart. As you do these bhajanas, as you do these kirtans, as you do these stutis, as you perform the Nama Japa, take sankalp after sankalp, the heart becomes purified and clarified, and you can watch and see the events unfolding around you and take the right decisions. How does this begin? It begins with Shraddha, Sadhu Sang, and then comes a Shiksha, Ananta Nivritti, purification of the heart. So, what is the portion? These are all the portions that you will find in the Satsang. That is why you should build the ability to sit in Satsangs and rush towards it, because there is Trishna in the entire crowd that sits in. What is Trishna? One of the names of Kali. Trishna is thirst. Attracting her inside, because there is thirst within you. And when you sit there and quench that thirst, it is Kali that is walking right into you. That is why Satsangs matter. Nishtha. What does a purified heart then attain? Nishtha, the ability, the steadiness of sadhana is then granted to you. Shiksha. Shiksha gives you the purification of heart. Shiksha gives you bhajana, kirtan, sadhana, the vidhis, the urge to trust and to deeply know that, am I doing this mantra right? That disappears. Steadiness. No matter what you're doing, it is going to take you to her. The steadiness comes after the purification of the heart. But where does it begin from? Shraddha. Shraddha gives you the sadhu sangha. That is where it comes from. Nishtha, the steadiness of your sadhana path, the more stable you are in whatever is the Nama Japa that you're doing, that gives you ruchi. What is ruchi? Ruchi, once you are stabilized in that mantra, no matter what you're doing, you no longer have the urge to check whether you're doing it right. You are doing it. You're stable, you're steady, you're strong in that path. Ruchi. Ruchi is the ability to perceive the deity, to taste it. That simply means whether you're eating, sleeping, walking, living, performing on stage, sitting in a bank, sitting in a job, sitting in a IT professional, sitting in a bus, there is always a state of ability to taste the deity in whatever you are doing. Everything appears as the Maya it is, and you realize it is the deity, and you taste the deity at all times. It is not that you rush till a temple and only when the temple finally they open that door and that moment you see the deity, I've seen. No. He who has attained the state of ruchi is seeing the deity perceiving the deity, and all in walking around with Krishna, the thirst to have the deity in everything they look around. It is always around them. This state is the highest, and this comes after sadhana, after nishtha. Shakti, bhava, prema. Shakti, oneness or absolute attachment with the deity. Now that which you perceive around you is all the deity and you're one with it. Bhava, absolute deepest states of devotion is then established. That leads to prema, absolute love of the deity. Everything is the deity and the deity is in love with you and you are one with the deity. Everything else is tick marked and running by itself. So this could take 12 years, this could take 15 years, but the sadhu sanga, you sitting in the house directionlessly, just holding on to faith as the cyclonic storms hit you, the sadhu sanga gives you the anchor even if the entire country is flooded. And the coconut tree is also that you are holding on to somehow to the earth, gets unplugged and it is floating away in that ocean of flood. The sadhu sanga gives you the anchor with which the tree can then hold on to the base. No matter what, it will not move off. No matter how much it is hit, it will not move out. Sadhu sanga is your ability to attain path. So it is not about what is the portion that is covered. These are things that are not physically describable. Get closer to the devotees. Get closer to the other sadhakas. That is sadhu sanga, physically. So this is the this short video is in response to that comment which said what all is covered. All of this is covered. If you have Shraddha, then we are giving you the sadhu sanga, the company of seekers, the company of those who seek, the company of those who have attained the end goal of what they were seeking. We are giving you that. What does that give you? Shiksha, bhajana kriya. It gives you ananta nivritti, pureness of the heart. It gives you nishtha. Nishtha is stability, steadiness. I will not get disturbed from this. Every time I touch upon my Guru Parampara, I get more stabilized. It's like the deity talking to you. That is why the satsangs are beautiful. They when you're just swaying around, just unable to hold on, it just gives you an activation. Right? Nishtha gives you ruchi, ability to taste the deity ever around you. Shakti, oneness with the deity. Then bhava, prema. So this is the bhakti marga that I have described, and it applies to every deity. Every path that ultimately leads you to the deity is deeply rooted in bhakti, and do not think it is the prayoga that is giving you. Prayoga, if you completely focus on the ritualistic part of it, that bhakti becomes smaller and smaller and smaller. It becomes a mere action that you do without any bhava within, and without bhava, you are greatly losing your momentum. So this is why we have satsangs. We are organizing it in Bangalore on 4th, Mumbai on 12th October, and Hyderabad on 19th October. So I think all locations have crossed about 300 entries right now. So we are doing it free of cost. Of course, as a mission, we are quite nascent and new. Right now, we don't want to sell. And that is the reason why we are doing it for free. Upadeshas and mantras and jnana should never be sold for a cost. However, selling of mantras is something I would never do. My guru never did it. Selling of upadeshas is also something he never did. So I too will never do it. However, we operate on bhiksha, which is nothing but donations, so that we can continue holding satsangs. Whoever can, must. Whoever can't, you will attain a state where you can. So it operates on bhiksha. It is an absolute zero cost initiative that our mission has taken up, and the ideology is to build a community of Kali mad sadhakas, absolute khepas, who are absolutely mad about her, who want to build a set of, you want to build a friendship of our company of mad seekers. That is what the goal is. That is why we have satsangs. So the subject is Introduction to Bhairava. That is the subject. Once it switches on, it could run off all over the place. We don't know. What she decides is the subject for the day, and the path that is fixed. So 3 cities we have chosen for October. Whoever is available on those places, on those cities, can join in. Others can wait in case we have sufficient. Later on, we will release forms to understand whether there are other locations where people are sufficiently involved and they want to have a sang, we can do it. If there are not enough people who are interested, we can simply do it in a park. It's not a big deal. There is no restrictions at all. You have to work from the grassroots. That is the design of Shanishwara, who is the allied planet of Ma Kali among the Mahavidyas. Right? So we do it from the grassroots. There is no bombastic opening. No. We are ourselves quite taken aback that we have 300 plus entries per location. Right? Let's get this rolling and get the community of mad Kali sadhakas together. Stand up for each other and hold her, hold the prema for her at the highest. So, Shraddha, it is your Shraddha that is giving you these satsangs. Hold it. What discovered? Such a person is not welcome. What all do you get? Don't. So, it is the IT professional or the banker or the businessman, the abhasa, that the chitta believes that I am the businessman, I am the banker, I am the IT professional. That idea of being attached to that Maya is looking at this satsang and saying, what is covered? What all do I get? No. For a satsang, what is covered? The deity is covered. The deity calls you and covers you. You don't check what all is covered for you. The deity is covering you. Simply and blindly with an empty thirst. Trishna, one of her names. Come there with thirst. Check if it is fulfilled. That is what the purpose is. It is not a sales program. So I hope we addressed specifically that comment, became a nimitta for me to speak about what is the purpose of satsang, because sometimes when I visit my guru, he's very aged, right? And he's a Bengali, I am not, I can't speak Bengali. So when I go there, sometimes it is just me sitting there and just absorbing that energy, just listening to him. Speaking to somebody else, he'll keep looking at me. Some people around me ask, won't you want to ask anything else? You don't want to ask anything? I say, nothing. Just taking the aura inside. And he knows that. That is why his affection for me would increase more and more, because he would just look at me, ye kuch bhi nahi. He never doesn't ask for anything. He just sits there. And he knows that. So his affection increases more and more. As opposed to people who keep on asking him 10, 15, 20, 30 questions. Absolute silence. I will take everything from there in silence, and also the love of the Guru. So satsang, which is the most important state in your sadhana path, it is the most important state in your sadhana path, and everybody does not get it. Everybody does not get it. This is the point. If it has been thrown onto you, that means your Shraddha is being tick marked. Your Shraddha with which you held on to as karmic hits came, like the coconut tree being bashed around in cyclonic storms and still not breaking, that is being rewarded with satsangs. That is the purpose of satsang. Chalo. Bhairava Kalike Namostute. Om Namo Bhairava. Jai Madhya, Jai Madhya, Jai Madhya. Jai Shri Bama Khepa, Jai Shri Shama Khepa, Jai Khepa, Parampara, Jai Madhya.